Hello folks, I'm in my scruffs again in the shed this time because I want to show you something. Misses, nothing like that. The saga of my food feeders. So as you know, or if you follow my channel, you'll know that I bought one of the big JBL feeders last year. Cost me 300 and odd quid. Absolutely superb bit of kit. It was on the side of the pond. Claire didn't like it because it was an absolute beast. And then when I put my jump guards on, couldn't fit it anywhere around the pond anyway. So just give you a shot of that to you know, so we can remember what it looks like. So it's currently in residence at the back of my shed. I mean, that's just put my hand on it. It just is an absolute beast. If you've got big copings or somewhere, you know, to put that, then it's an absolutely superb piece of kit. But I think I've used it for about 3 weeks and it's just been stuck in here. So let me show you where we are. He said spinning round and making you giddy. So what I'd really like, or what I really wanted, was one of those FD feeders, the big tall stainless steel units, but realistically they are a shocking amount of money. I'm not paying 600 quid for a food feeder. So what about this then, ladies and gentlemen? Now this is an Aquaforte automatic fish feeder, and to me it's just a smaller version of the JBL. I got it from, credit where credit's due, UK Koi Supplies, and this is it here. So it's a Aquaforte automatic fish feeder and it's £171. So straight away massive difference over what else you can get on the market. I mean, this is expandable as well, so it's really quite interesting. The lid's got a special compartment for silica gel, so it keeps the food extra dry. As it stands at the minute, as it says, it can hold up to 8 litres, but it's got an extra thing that goes on top that can take it up to about 15 litres. It does 1 to 6 feeds a day. It's adjustable from about 5 grams to 3 kilograms per day. It's got 0 to 9 day intervals. There's no memory loss when the power goes off, and as I say, it holds in its standard form 8 litres of food, and all it's operated by is 4 AA batteries, and you can operate it by power cord, and you can also do it by solar as well. So this is probably not going to be the most gracious of ways of doing it, but I'm going to let you see what I see when I open it. I am just going to have to get the they just corner bits. Yep, let's take them off. I am just going to have to probably put you down a bit while I get it out. But this is, I've looked at tons and tons and tons of, there we go, tons of feeders. And the issue for me is one of size. It's got to be able to fit on my copings where my jump guards are. So that's the first proper look at it. And that looks like a snazzy bit of kit to me. Right, I'm going to get it open and unpacked so I can take the lid off, and then we'll have another look. Right, so I've got rid of the packaging. So the lid has got nice little clips at the side, so not just in fact it's that secure I can't get it off. Nice little clips at the side that make it easy to get your fingers underneath, whether you can see that. Unlike my other fish feeder I've got on the pond at the minute, which is just a bit of plastic, and you can clearly see it's starting to warp. This is the chute for the food, so I'll get that put on in a minute, and also feet. Yep, chute and feet. And then we've got instructions inside. And then inside it you've got the hole for the food, obviously. You've got an automatic sensor by the look of it there to tell you when it's getting low. So that's it. Looks pretty good to me. As I say, it holds 8 litres in its standard form, and you can add another one of these on top, I believe, and it makes it 15. But I'll just get the bits and pieces put on it and then I'll snap back to you. So I've tipped it upside down and put the batteries in. You can see that hole there, there's a socket in there, connector. That's your solar power or your adapter input, DC 6 volts. I'm just going with the batteries for the minute. What it's also got are these 2 plastic legs, and how they fit on the side is they go into 2 channels on here, one either side, And then obviously when you turn it up the right way, it says try not to drop it. You can then actually screw it onto whatever base you're putting this on, which is going to be ideal for me because I'm going to put mine on a bit of decking board that's going to go across the pond for a temporary measure, just to give it that little bit more stability. So that's super, quite like that. And that thing in there, which I thought was a food sensor, is actually a stir gear. So this must stir it round to keep the food moving down to the bottom. But it's well made. I mean, this is my first bit of inspection. Got to put the other bits and pieces on. It looks all right at the minute, so we have a bit more of a play and I'll come back to you. Right folks, I've read the instructions, which is unusual for me, and you know what, I'm loving this. I am absolutely loving it. It's so simple and yet really clever. So how it works is, I don't know whether you'll see this hole here. When you put the food in, the food drops into that hole, and then when it feeds, there's a thing at the back, and that whole compartment, basically, I don't know how best to describe it, I'm going to show you in a sec, comes forward and releases the food. So if I can just get my hand out, my strap, I'll come back to you. Right, now I'm filming left-handed, so I'll try and get that as good as I can get it. So imagine this compartment here, this full of food, so obviously that compartment down there is full of food, and for demonstration purposes, if I press feed, you can see that compartment slide across, and that then drops the food down and it opens up again so that the next lot of feeding can go in. So you can control how much food actually drops into here. I think it says around about 30 grams for the whole thing, but it's got these clever little block devices which you can just put in to reduce the food in that compartment by about 5 grams for each block. And also the amount of time that drawer opens and closes, however many times that drawer opens and closes, you can program that as well. So rather than just having one drop of 30 grams, you could have, like, I don't know, you can have 5 drops of 20 grams or 10 grams or whatever you want. What? There you go, now it's talking to me. Is that because it's feeding time? What time is it? Yeah, I've set it for, right, I'll come back to you. So, get that over there. It's got some automatic feeding times which you can choose a program from. So the first one is 8 times a day, which is actually what I've got this set up at the minute. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock at night. Or you can do it 6 times a day, or the 4 times a day, 3 times a day, 2 times a day, once a day. But that's just like literally with the one click of a mode button. Or you can program it using the time settings, feed settings, feed amount settings, portion settings. You can feed it to do whatever the heck you want, basically. So there's a, I don't know what your feeding regime is, but I'd be surprised if you couldn't actually do it with this thing. But I think as a, for the money, I keep coming back to this because I've spent so much money on feeders already, but for 171 quid, and you can even have 4 interest-free credits of 42.75. But for 170 quid, this is a well-made, robust, at first glance, very swish, very smart. So I'm going to put it to the test. I'm going to put it on my big pond and have it running for a week, and then I'll come back to you. It's so easy to set the time and things. Again, it's just either the mode or the set button, and then up and down for the hours and the minutes. It's like setting a digital watch, really. It's a piece of cake. But the reason it went off on its own, I didn't realise it was 6 o'clock, which is when the time's set for. So at the moment, it's just set to push that drawer open once with a full load. But I'm going to change my settings now, and I'm actually going to measure how much it drops, and I'll show you that as well. See how accurate this is. So I'll come back to you in a bit. Right, so a little demonstration, a little bit of Saki Ikari in there. I've put some of the stoppers in to basically make the chute open and close twice, and I want there to be around about 30 grams of food come out, and that will happen 8 times a day, so there's 240 grams, and then obviously I'm manual feeding for the rest of the time, which is half the fun. So let's just see how this works. So all I need to do is press the plus button. Bear with me a second. Right, I can hear whirring. So that's one drop. Now the drawer will close, it'll fill up again, and then it'll push it out again. There's the second drop. And then as it goes in, obviously it fills up again, ready for the next one. So let's try not to lose too much of this and see how much is in there. Should have got a bigger pot really. On that one. Schoolboy error. What didn't I do? Turn the blooming thing on. Bear with. Right, it's actually on now. Duh. Try again, put this in. So I wanted 30 grams and that is 29.54. I don't know whether you'll see that or not. 29.54. So basically 8 of them is going to give me 240 grams, which is about half what I'm, well, slightly over half what I'm feeding. So I'm going to put that on the main pond, as I say. We'll watch it in action when it does the next one will be the 8 o'clock feed, and then see how it goes over a week or so. So after a couple of minutes of fiddling and cogitating, it's literally just set up on that little bit of board at the minute. It doesn't need to be, because where it will probably end up is either up that top right hand side there, by the side of the backy shower, and then the flow that comes out of the vents underneath that will then sort of push it all the way up here, or it'll go up this corner. And again, the bubbles, the flow will take it down there. So Lancelot, come say hello. But for now, I just wanted it there because I just want it solid and static while I'm just playing with it. Just me being overcautious. But anyway, it's filled up, and it's set on 2 drawer fulls to go off every 2 hours. So we'll wait for it to start whirring, then I'll film it and see what happens. But sorry about the sniffing, seem to have a bit of hay fever today. Fish are looking okay. I say they're looking okay, they're looking blooming marvellous, to be honest with you. The size of that beast, that achiever at the minute, Claire's favourite. And there's mine. Come to say hello. As there's my Mogoshki down there. Ghost keeps coming past. I think cowfish is egg bound at the minute. Let's see how that plays out. Stormtrooper down the bottom there. His head pattern changes weekly. He's got the most peculiar, well, not peculiar, I think it's fantastic head pattern at the minute. It's like a tancho spot but connected to the rest of it down his back. I don't even know whether you can see it in this light, but anyway, so they're doing absolutely splendidly, and they are just literally motoring around because they know it's gonna feed soon. So I'll snap back to you when it's due to start. Just 3 minutes to go. I don't know whether you can see that. If I get out the way, I don't know whether I can get out the way, but that's 17. There we go, 17:57 at the minute. See all that very nicely, very clearly through the glass, and that's due to go off at 2000 hours. So as I say, I'll snap back to you when it goes off. Come round the back of the pond because of where the sun is in the garden, but I think there's less than a minute to go now, so I'm just filming and watching, waiting for it to dump. As I say, that it's set to go off every 2 hours between 6 o'clock in the morning and 10 o'clock. Oh, I can hear it. So there you go, there's the first lot. So that's distributed one lot, which is flowing away now. And we should get, there you go, and we should get a second lot, and there's the second lot. Well, I'm quite pleased with that. As are the fish by the looks of it. Have you ever heard such noisy eaters? So yeah, it looks like it's going to be okay. I'll keep an eye on it tomorrow, and as I say, it'll be on for a week, and then I'll do a bit of a catch up on it. But I'm pleased with it so far. It's a good bit of kit. So here we are the next morning, just waiting for the feeder to go off. So this will be the what will it be, the third time it's gone off? Because it would, no, fourth. Would have gone off at 8 o'clock last night. There's the first lot. You can hear it filling up the bucket. They're already eating the first lot, and the second lot should come out any minute now. There you go. So that's the second lot being released into the water, and again the bucket's filling up inside. So it's working as it says on the tin. Plenty of food in the water. As I say, that only feeds just to give them that regular feed, and I feed blooming handfuls whenever I walk past the pond. So there we have it.